Hi, I'm Mo, and I'm trapped in Fallout. Today I'm going to show you how to gain access to be able to wear the power armor from the very beginning of the game, the moment you leave Vault 101, without having to go through the main storyline. In order to be able to wear the power armor, we will need to get access into Citadel, and we're going to use a glitch to be able to clip into the city. Now to do this, assuming you're at Vault 101, we're going to follow this path. It's going to take about 12 minutes in total to actually get into Citadel. Now I have chapters in this video that you can use to skip to certain portions on this path. The very first place we want to get to is going to be the Arlington Library. If you have access to Arlington Library, just go ahead and skip to that portion of the video. If you don't, then we can follow this path and we will get there anyway. So the very first place we're going to walk by is going to be Megaton. What we're going to do is reach the edge of DC, and we're going to effectively walk around the border of it, essentially areas that are not accessible in the game. Let's take a quick look at the map to show you what I mean. So we are going to walk to the edge of the city and walk around this border until we reach Arlington Library. Once we reach Arlington Library, we will then proceed to Citadel, where we will use a glitch to actually gain access into the Fortitude area. So the first place we need to get to is Arlington Library. Now, although you can do this at the very beginning of the game, I would recommend that you at least try to gain a few levels, maybe 5 or 6. The only reason I ask this is on this route, because we are going into the heart of DC, you're going to end up encountering enemies. Now, as you approach this particular area, what we're going to do is cross the bridge just ahead of us. If you want, you can make your trip a little bit quicker by going through this area of the city by going straight. We won't do that on the assumption that this is done by people who aren't at such high levels. So instead, we're going to cross on this side instead. As you get to the end, we're going to make a left here and then a right, and we're going to go directly south from here. Now usually this area is filled with some ghouls, so again, as advised, it is better if you have some slightly heavy hitting weapons here. Your pistol may not do the job, and it will probably be a little bit difficult for you to outrun ghouls. If you encounter any raiders, it's really up to you whether you want to take them out or not. But if you're able to, it is better if you dodge them. Again, simply because on lower levels, they will be a little bit more difficult to take down. So again, keep on following this path, and eventually we will reach Arlington Library. Now this is going to be a tricky drop. As you drop, make sure to hug the wall so that it cushions your fall a little. Otherwise, there is a likelihood as you jump down from these high areas, you may end up breaking a limb, which will slow you down even further. Now once you reach this area, go through this portion in between the two buildings and then make a left, and again keep on hugging this wall all the way to the end. To increase your likelihood of reaching Citadel, feel free to actually make quick saves along this route. It isn't the most easiest route to follow, but it is worth it. Now this is probably going to be one of the more tricky areas, as there's a turret right up there and it will do heavy damage. So I myself am on a relatively high level. I'm taking pretty heavy damage from them. So it is a good idea to make sure you have some stim packs ready at hand. You should be able to see Arlington Library now. Now if you want, again, to effectively make a quick save, just go into the building and then straight out. and that should just make a quick autosave for you. From Arlington Library, what you want to do is follow the road all the way this way, and eventually you will start to see a super mutant and a centaur being shot down by the turret system over there. So this fortified building is Citadel, and what we are trying to do is actually gain access into this building. Now if you want, you can just wait it out and let them take care of the creatures. Or you can do it yourself. So again, this time just hug the wall and eventually you will discover Citadel. Again, feel free to make quick saves or actually wait so that it transitions from night to day, just making it a little bit easier for you to see. Now once you've actually reached the city, you will see this big gate. The entry to the city is actually behind this gate, and unless you reach a certain part of the story, you can't actually enter. So we will now use a glitch to actually go past that gate over there. And to use this glitch, what we're going to do is follow this particular path, and do you see that large pile of broken, demolished building? There's a small area at the very top of that pile that doesn't have any collision detection, and we're going to use that in order to actually gain entry into the city. So what you want to do is, as you're climbing this, you want to just jump, and eventually you will be able to find access to this particular road here. To actually glitch in, we're going to follow this path. Now it appears to be a little bit easier if you do this in third person. So go into third person and try to go as far up as you can, and eventually you will fall straight down. Now we just need to follow this path. So do you see this faint line? Just follow this, but make sure you're not directly underneath it, as there are actually buildings all around you that you can't really see. So once you reach this area, if you look to your left, you will see what looks like there to be a hole. We want to follow this route up this way. And once we reach the top, you want to slowly move to the left, and then this is the same wall to Citadel. You want to jump straight down, and you are now effectively inside Citadel. So what we're going to do now is carry on this route, and eventually we will hit the door to the city. So now you can go back into first person mode, and very soon we will be able to see the large gate that was blocking the entrance previously. So if you have a look, that over there in the horizon is the large gate, and the door to the city is right here. So if we now select the door, we have now effectively gained access to Citadel. Now that we've actually gained access, we need to go and speak to one of the elders who will grant us permission to have power armor training. To do this, follow this path and let's go to the Citadel laboratory. Once inside, follow the path and speak to Elder Lyons.
Hail to you, son of James.
Now, if you don't want any spoilers on the story, don't engage in any dialogues other than this one, where we can specifically ask to be trained to wear power armor. Elder Lyons has now effectively given you permission to go and train to be able to wear power armor. Go ahead and just say, I have to go now. Now, before we go and actually speak to the Paladin for training, we can actually go into the smithy. And there would actually be a power armor right here on the table that you can just simply take. Now, let's go ahead and exit the laboratory and go and speak to the Paladin. So the Paladin can be found in this area.
5 more than your enemy.
Go ahead and speak to Paladin Gunny. When you have the option to do so, select "Can you train me to use power armor?" And just like that, you now have the ability to wear power armor. Go ahead and just say "I have to go now." If you now go into your items and apparel, you should now be able to wear power armor. And that's pretty much how you can gain the ability to wear power armor really early in the game.